Welcome back, beautiful people. Usher Steve here, signing in for another tutorial. Today we will be talking about the HTML hypertext markup language, which we can start from the scratch. So what are you waiting for? Let's kick it. So to start from the HTML, just you need to know HTML is a thing that you can start from just a notepad. So without this any editor, advanced editor that we have, but we can just start from the basic notepad that is provided in the Windows. So let's open our notepad. So let's press this Windows R, and as we just write here notepad. So just press enter, and this is it. This editor is good enough for us to start the HTML. So before we start from this here, I just want to create one folder called HTML. So let's create a folder called HTML here. We'll call HTML. So inside this folder, I will just open this folder. As of now, it's empty. So we will place our HTML here. So this will be our editor. So after saving, we will put in this HTML. So right now you can see on my screen there is nothing. You just need this small editor to start your HTML from the scratch. So let's start with the first thing. So we have so many elements in the HTMLs. So the first element in HTML we call this is a dog type. You can start with the exclamation mark here, dog type, and then we write here HTML. So this is what we're saying here is we are telling to the HTML tag that this is going to be a HTML document type. Then we start with the here first one is HTML. So this we call this element we call HTML element open tag, and then when you open, there should be also a closing tag called HTML tag. So this is the opening and this is the closing of HTML. So the beginning and the end. So this will be the beginning of the HTML element, and this will be the end of the HTML. So the first thing here we have to do here is like just below here we have to put here as a head. So that means your opening head elements, and your also have a closing head elements. Inside this you will also have a title. So we'll just write here open tag, and then we also have a closing tag. Right, yes. So now whatever you write here, so this will be your title. So right now here we are starting with here HTML. Okay, so HTML5 we can write here HTML5. Okay, so HTML5, this will be our title. So it's a compulsory that this is an opening tag and will be a closing tag for this HTML. So now the next thing we have is the body, which is most important. Whatever you write here in the body will be reflect back to the web page. So here we are also closing the body. So the first one we have written was the HTML down here, and now we also have a closing. So when we enlarge, you can see this way there. So we have a simple tag here like this. So this is our like skeleton. We call the elements structure of this so-called HTML. So it's simple. These things is followed throughout whatever the designing that you are doing. So this is a must. So within this you can put different elements. For example, like let's say we want to start the heading. So here in the heading, H1 is the biggest font. The font's size you would get the H1. So we also have a closing font here like this. So here let's say we want to write something here. This is my first HTML page. We can write like that. So now we will just save this. So we'll just write this much, and now we will save. First of all, we'll save inside this. So now save as, then we go to this web here, and then HTML. Inside here we will write here the name of the HTML. We'll give this here just first index.html. And these things you should not forget that any name that you can give, but at the end .html, the extension you should have to put here is HTML.html. that is very important. If you didn't put this HTML or you put something else, then it will not display. So please remember that this .html is important. Okay, so encoding should be UTF-8 Unicode transformation format 8, which is followed by all web developers. So now as you can see that it is already inside here. So the code that we write here now will be displayed, and the title here, it will be shown on top. Okay, the title. So let's open and see here. So now you can see the HTML5 is here on top. Okay, so the title, and this is the first heading. This is my first HTML page that is going to play. So now you'll see the size is very big out here. So let's see the different type of heading that you want to see. Starting from H1 up to H6 we have there. So now we will put this aside and we will see what the effect has. So now I will just copy this and I will just paste it on here. So we will just see all from H1 to H6. So we'll just paste and then we will rotate. Right now I'm just copy paste just to look good and just putting them in order. Okay, so there. All right, so now we will just change this one to H2 in the side, H2, and here H3, closing H3, and then here opening H4, closing H4, 5, and then closing 5, and then we have 6 here and close 6. So this is that thing here. Now let's bring these things even closer so that you see the whole thing. How does it look? So now we just Ctrl S, or from the file you can save it. Now go to your web page and then just refresh this, or you can press Ctrl R. So now you can see that the first one, this H1, is the biggest one of this heading, and the second one, H2, is this line. H3 displays this, H4, then this is H5 and this line, and H6, you can see that this is the smallest one. So from the smallest to the biggest, that we have the heading type, that is H1 to 6. So now if you want to write any paragraph here, you can follow up from this line itself. So here if you want to write paragraph, you just have to write the P, open a P, and then we also have a closing P. Okay, so now you can write anything here. We are learning HTML5. Okay, so we just write this way here. We'll learn HTML5, and now I just skip there, or maybe here we'll just draw a we'll just give a break. So BR means it's a break. BR is a break. So if you want to give a space in between this here, so you just give here this BR and then followed by this. So now we'll have a little bit of distance, so space to see the difference. So now I save it, I refresh this page. So now you can see here it is a we are learning HTML. It is appearing here. Whatever we write here, it is appearing here. So now if I want to apply from this H2, I just have to come here, and inside the paragraph I can just put here H2. Let's say here I want to, and then I'll just close the H2 from here to make the letter big. So just save it, and yes, now you can see the letters increase. So this way you can start anything that you want to add up more of this. You can just simply copy paste this here, paste, and in between this let me also, now for now I will write H3, let's say, and then closing H3 tag. So save it and then refresh. So now you can see the effect on your web page once again. So this way you can start off these things. Later on, the more you do the coding, so it will become a little bit of complicated, but it's a fun learning. So you don't need much of this editor. This notepad itself is good enough to start with. So later on you can also use some different kind of editor, which we have also. Advanced of this notepad we have is Notepad++. We also have that. So you also can just download and you can also try with that. But as a beginner, so I will just recommend this to start with this. So it will be good for you to just know it's simple and that's straightforward. So guys, this is how we can start HTML. So I hope this video has been informative for you, and I'd like to thank you. Please do share, like and subscribe to my channel. Thank you and see you in the next video.